was made by Antonio Stratavarious in the year 1725 in Cremona. And I'm incredibly lucky to have this instrument to play on. I believe that it's one of the rare examples of a Stradivarius that was made specifically for a musician. Most of his instruments were made for royalty. He was quite famous in his own lifetime. And his instruments looked perfect. This cello has among the most magnificent wood that I've ever seen for sound, but it has visual flaws. Can you see this stripe that runs all along the ribs? It's a sap mark in the wood, and it goes all the way around both sides. And other than that sap mark, it's rather plain, unfigured maple. Also on the back, which you probably can't see, there's a line right here. And it's a little bit of worm damage in the wood that Stradivarius repaired as he was making the instrument. So I think he would not have given an instrument with those flaws to a royal court. So I believe that this one was made for a musician, which makes me very happy. And although she could rest the cello with the end pin, she couldn't reach it with her arms. It was too far away. So her husband, Paul Tortelier, invented this funny bent end pin to get the cello up and over her belly while she was pregnant. Now, Paul Tortelier was very tall and had long legs, just as I do, and he liked the way he got the cello out from his legs. So he started to use it, and then Rostropovich started to use it, and now maybe 20% of cellists use this funny-looking bent pin. But if I were to sit the way I would say a normal cellist sits, I would need a bench that was maybe that tall, more like a table, and I would probably need an end pin this long, a straight end pin, and it's very impractical. So what I've decided to do is get used to the most common chair that exists in the planet, this metal folding chair, and I've got my nice bent end pin. And there are advantages and disadvantages to it, but it works for me. The value of the instrument. Stradivarius made 1,100 instruments. He was a remarkable man. He began his career as an instrument maker in his 50s. This is the 17th century. Very few people lived into their 50s. He worked until the age of 91. The greatest example of a working senior citizen I've ever heard. He made 1,100 instruments. Of those 1,100, 60 are cellos. Of the 60 cellos, from what is called his golden period, in really, really excellent mint condition, there are 5. And this is one of them. The only way to know, let's say, the value of a car is you look in the blue book and, you know, a Chevrolet of that year in that condition is worth such and such. Well, these instruments aren't sold. So you have to have one sold to put a value on it. So the insurance company says, what value would you like to put on it? How much premium would you like to pay us? So I'm this cello's protector. It has had many lives before me, and it should have many lives after me. I just am lucky enough to get to protect it and to play on it for a little while.